Hi, and thank you for joining us. We are all here today as you are about to begin a really exciting journey. Your child is going to be starting reception in September, and by now you know what school they're going to.
Today we're going to be talking to you about starting reception and giving you a little insight into what reception will look like for your child in September. We're going to be covering the areas of learning, literacy, maths, social assessment and developing independence.
A little bit about us. We are Gemma and Julia, educational consultants for families specialising in primary education. Being both teachers and parents of young children, we understand the frustrations that come with entering the world of education. The Parent Learning Platform was set up to support parents in understanding their children's academic journey.
It's important to note that all children are unique. In a class of 30, all of the children will have different interests and strengths. Parents often feel pressured to get their child to a certain point before school, to tick off a list of skills before September. But what matters most is that your child is ready to learn.
So let's talk about what actually happens in reception. Teachers will plan all your children's activities around 7 key areas of learning: communication and language, personal, social, and emotional development, physical development, literacy, maths, understanding the world, expressive arts and design. And each area of learning is then broken up into smaller objectives called early learning goals. And the aim is that each child in reception will be working towards meeting these goals throughout the year.
We're going to break down the areas for you. So starting off with communication and language, this involves providing children with a rich language environment, developing their confidence and skills in expressing themselves and to speak and listen in a range of situations. Personal, social, and emotional development is a goal based on making relationships, self-confidence, self-awareness, and managing feelings and behaviour. Over the next few months, really focus on spending time conversing and listening to your child. Ask them questions and encourage them to really communicate their answers clearly in full sentences. Encourage your child to use the word because and encourage them to explain their ideas. This will really help to prepare your child for September.
Personal, social, and emotional development is based on making relationships, self-confidence and self-awareness, and managing feelings and behaviour. This is important. Children who are confident, kind, listen to others, and understand turn taking are children who are ready to learn within a classroom environment. Really praise your child when they behave nicely or if they do something kind, but explain to them why this makes you happy. If your child has been sharing well, say, you shared nicely with your friend today and your kindness has made your friend feel happy.
Understanding the world and expressive art and design is your science, your geography, your computing, it's retelling of stories, it's general knowledge, and it's art. Encourage a culture-rich environment. Visit the library and take out information books on topics your child might be interested in. If you can, visit museums and even talk about the news in a child-appropriate way.
Let's talk about physical development. Physical development involves providing opportunities for children to be active and interactive, to develop their coordination, control, and movement. Included in this area is helping children to also understand the importance of being healthy in regards to physical activity and also with what they eat. Fine and gross motor skills are also included within this area of learning. Fine motor skills strengthen little fingers and hands, and this supports handwriting and helps children to hold a pencil correctly so that they can sustain writing for longer periods of time. Gross motor skills are more physical and use the whole body. Have a look on our Instagram page as there are many examples of ways to develop both fine and gross motor skills.
Literacy includes both reading and writing. Phonics is a way of teaching children how to read and write. It helps children hear, identify, and use different sounds that distinguish one word from another. Every school follows a government recommended scheme. In the past, schools could chop and change and choose the schemes they wanted to use, but new government requirements mean that all schools need to follow a validated, systematic approach to phonics. Find out what scheme your school follows. Phonics and writing are taught in unison. You can't teach phonics without writing, and you can't teach writing without phonics. So, for example, when your child learns a S for the letter S, they will learn that the sound is S and the letter is called S. And at the same time, they will learn how to form the letter and how to write it correctly.
Phonics is taught in phases, phase 1 to phase 6. Phase 1 begins in nursery and continues into the early days of reception, where children are taught rhythm, rhyme, initial sounds of a letter, syllables. As they progress throughout the year, children will learn the later phases, which with more complex sounds, and will apply these in both reading and writing. Children will continue to learn phonics as they progress through year 1, year 2, even year 3, maybe year 4, and so on.
A key question we're always being asked is, does my child need to know their letters and their sounds before reception? Absolutely not. Every child in reception will be learning the same phonic sounds at the same time, regardless of any prior knowledge. Over the summer, if you want to work on this area, focus on rhyme, syllables within words, and even what sound particular words start with. If you would like a more detailed understanding of phonics, we do offer a phonics workshop, so please get in touch.
Maths is a broad area of learning, and reception provides children with the foundations that they need as they move through primary school. Children will learn counting, understanding and using numbers, addition, subtraction, patterns, shapes, and measure. It is important to note that different schools follow different schemes. Your child will come home and use terminology and methods that you might not know. Familiarise yourself if you are not sure of something, and take a look at our Instagram, as we often post tutorials which will definitely help you.
All schools will assess your children regularly against the 7 areas of learning, but it will look different in every school. Your child will have no idea that they are being assessed. Some schools will have a physical journal where teachers will put pictures and notes and evidence of your child's learning into. And some schools will use online journals where parents can log in and see this evidence.
Before your child starts reception, they should be able to put their coat and shoes on by themselves. They should know how to hang their coat up on a hook, be able to go to the toilet independently. If they aren't able to do that, it is really important that they can then express that need to an adult. Make sure that they can open a snack box and a water bottle by themselves. Unpack and pack their bags. They will have a school bag and they will have to unpack it in the morning and pack it again in the afternoon by themselves. These are all really good skills to work on in the coming months. Your reception teacher will thank you for this, and so will your child.
As we explained, the most important thing is making sure your child is ready to learn and feels confident and secure. A few things you could work on over the summer are name recognition. If your child is writing their name, ensure they are using a capital letter for the first letter only. Avoid letter recognition unless you are absolutely sure you know the sounds to each letter. Working on number recognition from 1 to 10 is always a great idea, as well as making patterns with colours and shapes.
The Parent Learning Platform was set up to ensure that parents have the knowledge and the skills that they need to academically support their children at home. Just a few facts of the importance of parental involvement. Spending 5 to 10 minutes a day learning with your child can speed up their learning progress by up to 4 months. There is evidence that supporting parents with their first child will have benefits for siblings. And parental engagement in their child's education is repeatedly found to be one of the most effective levers we have to improve outcomes of all children.
Thank you so much for listening. We offer individual support, group workshops, and tailor-made programs of learning for children. Please do follow us on Instagram and get in touch. Best of luck on your school journey.